Excavator was drilling rock on a high cliff when the ground beneath it became unstable. Suddenly, the machine lost balance, slipped, and fell down the slope. This incident is a strong reminder to always check ground stability before operating heavy equipment near edges or steep areas. Proper anchoring, barriers, and safe positioning can prevent disasters like this. An excavator was drilling into a building in a busy commercial area. The operator continued breaking the structure, unaware of what could happen next. Suddenly, the building gave way and collapsed directly onto the excavator. This incident is a serious reminder that safety planning is critical during demolition work. Operators must know which direction a building is likely to fall and maintain a safe distance from the collapse zone. Proper assessment, planning, and supervision can prevent tragedies like this. An excavator was trying to lift a machine upward using a tie. As the operator pulled, the tie slipped from the excavator's claw, and the machine fell straight into the trench below. This incident reminds us that proper preparation is critical before any lifting work. The load must be securely tied from multiple points to ensure a firm grip, and all safety checks should be completed before lifting. A few extra minutes of planning can prevent serious accidents. A similar accident occurred at an open factory work area. A crane was lifting an excavator to place it safely on the ground, but the load slipped from its grip and fell hard onto the ground below. This incident highlights the importance of secure rigging and proper load balance when using cranes. Always check lifting gear, ensure the load is evenly supported, and never rush lifting operations. One small mistake can lead to a major accident. An excavator was demolishing a tall brick chimney, repeatedly striking its base to make it fall in one direction. However, when the chimney finally collapsed, it fell toward the excavator instead, crushing it in the process. It was a serious and tragic incident. This shows the importance of carefully planning the direction of every fall during demolition work. Operators must ensure there is a clear, safe escape zone and that the structure's fall path is well understood before striking or breaking any part of it. Excavating on steep terrain presents extreme risks, but the most immediate danger here is the personnel. These workers are standing on an unsupported, unstable cliff edge. A catastrophic failure was inevitable. Below, their colleagues are directly in the line of fire. Miraculously, they escape. Always establish and enforce clear exclusion zones. Never enter the drop zone. Every machine has its limits. This one is about to be pushed far beyond them. Once control is lost, gravity is unforgiving. The result is total destruction. This worker was standing in a potential kill zone. He was lucky. Know your equipment. Respect the terrain. Stay out of the path of danger. This is improvisation with deadly potential. The wrong equipment combined with improper rigging guarantees failure. And always secure the area below. No exceptions. This is a tragic example of why you must never stand in the operational path of heavy equipment. The worker is positioned directly in the loader's blind spot, making them invisible to the operator. The consequences are catastrophic as they are scooped up and buried. Always maintain a safe distance from machinery, wear high visibility clothing, and ensure you make positive eye contact with the operator before entering their work zone. Heavy equipment is not a toy. This shocking display of horseplay demonstrates a complete disregard for safety. The operator is intentionally using a multi-ton excavator to endanger a person on the ground. A single miscalculation would result in a fatal accident. Machinery must only be used by trained, authorized personnel for its intended purpose. Reckless behavior and horseplay have no place on any job site and will not be tolerated. Is positioned at the top of a steep hill made of loose red soil. What you're about to see is an incredibly dangerous maneuver. The operator chooses to reverse down this treacherous slope. Using the bucket as a makeshift brake and guide, the machine slides backwards down the incline. The continuous reverse alarm you hear indicates the extreme nature of this operation. While the operator appears skilled and maintains some control, this represents exactly the kind of high-risk decision that can quickly turn fatal. In a similar scenario, this JCB operator isn't so lucky. The excavator loses control on a steep slope and begins to tumble. It crashes violently into a pile of debris at the bottom, as horrified onlookers watch. The operator is thrown around inside the cab during the violent descent. Metal twists and hydraulic lines rupture as the machine tumbles end over end. What started as a routine job becomes a life-threatening catastrophe in seconds. The machine is destroyed, a complete loss due to operating on unsuitable terrain. Here, an operator attempts to unload a Tata excavator from a flatbed without proper ramps. The truck is on an incline, a critical mistake. He uses the bucket to try and stabilize the machine as it backs off, a dangerous and unapproved technique. The center of gravity shifts. The excavator loses balance and slides off, causing the truck to lurch. It crashes to the ground and tumbles down the embankment, a total loss of a valuable machine due to improper procedure. Demolition work requires extreme caution. This operator is working close to a mud brick wall without proper cab protection. A falling piece of debris shatters the cab's side window, pouring dirt and glass right next to the operator. The operator narrowly escapes serious injury, but the psychological impact is immediate. This incident could have been fatal with just inches of difference, a near miss that highlights the need for proper guarding and maintaining safe distances. This final operator has positioned his machine on an unstable rubble pile to push over a wall. He misjudges the collapse direction. The entire wall comes down directly on top of the excavator's cab, engulfing it in rubble and dust. The operator is completely buried under tons of masonry. Emergency rescue would take critical minutes in this cloud of destruction. Another preventable disaster. While an excavator was digging mud from a mountain slope, it became stuck in the soft ground. Other workers and another excavator tried to pull it to safety, but the ground gave way. The machine slipped and rolled down the slope, tumbling deep into the trench below. This incident shows how risky it is to operate on unstable or muddy terrain. Always assess ground conditions, use proper recovery methods, and keep a safe distance during rescue operations. An excavator was trying to move uphill in a mountain work area, with another excavator assisting. Suddenly, it lost balance, slid backward, and ended up upside down on the ground. This incident shows the importance of preparing a safe path using the excavator's claw before moving uphill. Always plan the route carefully and consider all safety precautions to protect both workers and machinery from serious accidents. A self-loading concrete mixer was about to move forward on the street, but the operator didn't realize that an excavator's claw was stuck at the back of the mixer. As the mixer moved, it pulled the excavator forward, causing it to fall hard onto the ground. Thick smoke rose from the impact, creating a dangerous situation. This incident shows how important it is to check your surroundings and equipment before moving any vehicle. Always make sure no part of another machine is attached or too close, and maintain safe communication between operators to prevent such accidents. An excavator was drilling a building, unaware of the risks. As the operator continued breaking the structure, part of the building suddenly collapsed, bringing the excavator down with it. This incident highlights the importance of understanding the direction of potential collapse, maintaining a safe distance, and carefully planning demolition work. Always assess hazards and ensure all workers stay clear of danger zones. A worker stood too close to an excavator, a dangerous mistake that could have ended badly. Always maintain a safe distance from heavy machinery. One wrong move or sudden swing can lead to serious injury in just a second. The scene shows a long, heavy object appearing to be a steel beam or concrete pipe being transported by an overhead crane. During the lifting operation, the heavy object suddenly loses stability and detaches from the rigging, resulting in its forceful, high-velocity drop from a significant height. A worker standing nearby demonstrates quick and effective evasive action, managing to clear the immediate impact zone. This incident serves as a severe warning regarding the inherent high risk of handling long, heavy materials overhead. Mandatory safety protocols. It is essential that all materials being lifted or moved must be securely fastened and inspected meticulously prior to and during transport. Workers must maintain a wide mandated safety buffer or exclusion zone, remaining clear of the path and the potential impact area of all suspended loads to prevent immediate and severe impact trauma. This surveillance video from a machine shop captures a serious equipment malfunction that highlights the critical risks of working near high-speed rotating machinery. The footage shows an operator standing close to an active industrial lathe when a mechanical failure occurs. A component detaches unexpectedly, causing a sudden and dangerous reaction from the equipment. The event clearly demonstrates how rapidly things can go wrong when safety, distance, and guarding systems are not strictly maintained. It emphasizes the importance of using protective enclosures, maintaining proper setup procedures, and ensuring that no one stands within the rotation zone while a machine is running. Regular inspections and adherence to lockout and guard maintenance protocols are essential to prevent similar industrial fails and ensure workplace safety. This surveillance footage from a construction or loading area documents a serious vehicle control failure, clearly emphasizing the dangers of neglecting proper brake and parking procedures. The video shows a large dump truck stopping near an excavation zone or slope, where the operator exits the cab without fully securing the vehicle. Moments later, the truck unexpectedly begins to move forward due to the lack of proper stabilization and continues rolling toward a restricted area. The situation demonstrates how quickly a loss of control can occur when heavy equipment is not properly secured. This event reinforces the need for all operators to apply parking brakes, use wheel chocks, and follow established safety protocols before leaving any vehicle unattended. Workers must also maintain a safe distance from the path of any potential movement to ensure complete safety during operations. The scene shows numerous people refueling their vehicles and moving about the service area. Abruptly, a large truck speeds into the station at an uncontrolled velocity, traversing the refueling zone. The sudden, rapid approach of the vehicle forces pedestrians to react instantly and take swift, evasive action to avoid the immediate path of danger. Fortunately, the truck managed to avoid making contact with any individuals. This close call serves as a critical warning regarding vehicular safety in high-density areas. Drivers must always maintain maximum speed control and strict vigilance when entering service stations. Furthermore, these facilities must ensure adequate physical barriers and clear traffic segregation are in place to prevent vehicles from endangering customers and creating both severe impact hazards and the risk of fuel-related fire incidents. This surveillance video from a large machine shop captures an extremely hazardous equipment failure involving a heavy, lengthy workpiece on a large industrial lathe. The machine was actively processing a long roller or heavy shaft, supported by steady rests. While the worker was walking near the operational zone, the massive workpiece suddenly lost stability on its supports and was violently ejected or hurled from the machine with significant force and velocity. This event created an immediate high-impact hazard across the shop floor. Fortunately, the nearby worker reacted quickly and managed to safely clear the danger zone. This incident serves as a critical warning. It is mandatory that secure fastening and meticulous inspection of all heavy workpieces on lathes and other machining equipment must be performed prior to and during operation. Workers must always maintain a wide safety, standoff distance, and remain clear of the potential trajectory of material in the event of an unexpected ejection or loss of stability. The scene shows two workers maneuvering a workpiece that has been heated to a high red-hot temperature near a forging press or hammer. As they attempt to handle the material, the hot metal piece abruptly slips or is violently expelled from the work area and strikes one of the workers. This failure highlights the immediate danger of contact with extremely high-temperature materials and the risk of impact trauma from unexpected projectiles in a heavy metallurgy environment. Critical safety protocols are mandatory. It is essential to increase the safety standoff distance when manipulating hot material and to always utilize specialized personal protective equipment designed specifically for resistance against both high temperatures and blunt force impact. Workers must never stand in the potential trajectory or hazardous zone of heated workpieces being processed. The footage shows a female worker standing near an active industrial press or rotating roller machine, possibly a sugarcane juicer. Abruptly, her loose sleeve or clothing gets caught by the machine's spinning rollers or shafts. She is quickly pulled toward the machine's mechanisms, facing the severe hazard of being violently spun and entrapped. Fortunately, a male colleague demonstrated immediate and heroic action, rushing forward to quickly engage the emergency stop ESTOP, successfully freeing her from the rotating equipment. This incident serves as a vital safety lesson. Personnel must always maintain a safe distance from moving parts and strictly avoid wearing loose clothing such as jackets or long sleeves near any rotating shafts or rollers to prevent entanglement. Furthermore, knowing the location and procedure for engaging the emergency power should FF is an absolutely life-saving necessity. This surveillance footage from a public marketplace captures a dangerous entanglement incident, emphasizing the immediate hazard posed by rotating equipment in crowded spaces. The scene shows a female shopper with unsecured long hair walking near a large active industrial fan. As she moves into close proximity, her hair is immediately drawn into the spinning blades or protective guard of the fan by the strong airflow. The sudden, violent force of the entanglement causes the woman to fall forcefully to the ground. Fortunately, several bystanders quickly rushed to her aid and immediately disconnected the power source by pulling the plug, preventing further harm. This incident serves as a critical public safety warning. Individuals with long hair must secure it tightly when near any moving machinery or high-powered fans. Furthermore, all rotating equipment in public areas must be equipped with proper, robust safety guards to prevent contact, and people should maintain a safe standoff distance to mitigate severe entanglement risks. This surveillance footage from a logistics or warehousing facility captures a serious incident involving improper forklift operation in an area with high stacked cargo. The scene shows a forklift navigating among tall stacks of merchandise. As the forklift attempts to move the lift mast to retrieve or position a load at a high elevation, the combination of the elevated boom position and the weight of the cargo destabilizes the vehicle. Due to this shift in the center of gravity and potentially excessive speed or uneven load distribution, the forklift abruptly tips over onto its side. This incident serves as a critical warning regarding material handling safety. Operators must always lower the load and tilt the mast back before turning or traveling. Never lift loads to full height while the vehicle is in motion. Proper training emphasizes that speed must be kept to a minimum, and loads must be centered and stabilized to prevent severe equipment rollover hazards caused by center of gravity shifts. A worker is climbing onto the top of a large oil tanker truck to move across the elevated surface. He loses his footing and balance, resulting in an uncontrolled fall. Always ensure the conveyor system is completely powered down, locked out, and tagged out before clearing a jam or reaching near any moving part if that's not possible. Use designated tools for clearing blockages from a safe distance. The key lesson here is that any moving part on an automated system creates an immediate and high-risk entanglement and pinch point hazard that must be respected. Bus drivers must not initiate movement until they have absolutely confirmed that the area immediately surrounding the vehicle, particularly the zone in front, is completely clear of pedestrians. Pedestrians should never walk directly in front of or behind a large vehicle that is stopped, never perform work in an active roadway or access path used by heavy machinery. Without establishing a clear exclusion zone, workers must not assume a machine operator can see them, especially when approaching from the rear due to the vehicle's large blind spots. You should not transport pressurized gas cylinders or any heavy rolling cargo without properly securing the load with chain straps or a certified cage system. Failing to secure the load turns the cylinders into dangerous high-speed projectiles on any incline or bumpy road. Fortunately, despite the incident, there was no detonation and nobody was injured. A worker tries to use a forklift's forks as a platform. Do not use forklifts for elevated work. Their forks are not a stable platform, and attempting to work from them can easily result in a fall. This video shows an incident where a heavy metal piece falls after being accidentally moved by a hoist hook. This is a critical reminder that you must always stand to the side and out of the fall path. An unsecured heavy load like this is a severe hazard, and by the time it begins to tilt, it is often too late to get out of the way. Fortunately, the piece was hollow from the inside, which created enough space for the worker underneath it, and he was not hurt. This footage shows the collapse of an amusement park ride called 360 Big Pendulum that occurred in Taif, Saudi Arabia at the end of July 2025. This accident serves as a grim reminder of the absolute necessity for rigorous and consistent equipment inspection and maintenance. This video shows a situation where a car is being directed onto an uphill ramp at a car service. The person giving directions stands in a dangerous position directly in front of the car, demonstrating a complete lack of safety awareness. The driver pushes the accelerator too hard, leading to a loss of control. This incident is a critical reminder that directing a vehicle must be done from the side, and a safe distance must always be maintained. A front loader pulls a truck, and the tow rope snaps, rebounding with immense force. Always take precautions against rebound. Use a dampener like a blanket or something soft on the rope to absorb the shock. Also use a braided rope that will not rebound violently upon failure. A road roller rolls off a moving truck trailer and hits a car. The cause was a failure to properly secure the load. Fortunately, nobody was injured, but the car sustained significant damage. A forklift drives at speed with forks fully raised, then tips over during braking. Fortunately, the operator suffered 0 injuries. This incident screams a vital rule. Always lower forks to their safe travel height. When the forklift is unloaded, in this video of an elevator starting its ascent, before the doors fully close, highlights a severe and dangerous equipment malfunction. While the elevator clearly had major technical issues, it also underscores the critical need for personal vigilance. Always observe the behavior of specialized equipment before stepping on or in a dangerous chain of events unfolds, as a forgotten rope from a stack of panels pulls them into an elevator shaft. This highlights the severe risks of trailing hazards and inadequate elevator clearance checks. Always ensure no ropes or parts of a load extend into an elevator car when it closes or moves. Witnessing the domino effect of collapsing stacked goods highlights fundamental failures in warehouse organization and hazard prevention. While a forklift was involved, the underlying issue is often unstable stacking practices that make entire sections vulnerable. In a container port, a piece of heavy machinery drives forward and then makes a sharp right turn. One worker is seen walking dangerously close to the moving equipment, highlighting the serious risk of working near active machinery without adequate clearance. Two workers are seen transporting stacked glass panels with a manual pallet. One worker stands on the opposite side of the stack, holding the panels as the other worker forcefully pulls the jack. It suddenly shifts, destabilizing the load and causing the glass panels to fall. Forklifts are actively transporting loads through a busy warehouse in this dynamic environment. Even a moment of distraction can lead to danger, especially when a worker suddenly enters the forklift path without checking. Strict separation between pedestrian routes and equipment zones is essential for safety. 3 workers pushed a scaffold with others still on top as they moved it. The scaffold tilted and toppled over mobile scaffolds. Should never be pushed while occupied. Always ensure everyone descends before repositioning to avoid accidents. This incident reveals the danger of flammable vapors lingering in so-thought empty containers in a fortunate turn. The worker suffered no injuries, but this outcome should not diminish the severity of the risk. A car parked on an upper level wasn't properly secured, causing it to come crashing down. Thankfully, the scooter rider was uninjured, though both the car and scooter sustained damage. A forklift carrying a large vision obstructing roll drives forward with a worker in close proximity. Always ensure forklift operators have clear views. Use spotters when loads obscure sight, and implement strict pedestrian A truck tailgate suddenly collapse with equipment and cargo on it is an illustration of a complete failure in risk assessment during loading and unloading the tailgate. Lacking proper support was put under immense strain, fundamentally misjudging its load-bearing capability. This side-dumping operation illustrates how critical it is to fully understand and correctly operate specialized unloading mechanisms attempting to discharge heavy materials without deployment of the side gates. Dramatically increases the risk of truck instability and rollover. This is a scary moment as a worker is pulled in by a machine. Luckily, his colleagues reacted instantly, pressing the emergency stop button. This rapid response shut down the machine, allowing the worker to escape unharmed. It's a powerful reminder that quick thinking and functioning emergency stops can lead to a happy ending. This video shows multiple failures. No supervisor, poor coordination, and a premature crane lift, always appoint a dedicated lifting coordinator. Crucially confirm all lifting gears clear and everyone is out of the danger zone before activating any crane safety checks, and teamwork save lives. A heavy metal piece drops due to crane issues. This shows the critical need for proper equipment checks and safe worker positioning. Always stay clear of potential fall paths. Fortunately, here the two men reacted in time. Have you ever seen a forklift lifted by a crane with an operator inside? Thankfully, no accident occurred here, but this is a very dangerous and unapproved practice. Cranes are not designed to elevate personnel using other machinery. This creates severe instability, risking.
It begins with a worker climbing a ladder placed against an unstable wall. At first, everything looks fine, but a slight movement makes the ladder wobble. He tries to steady himself, but it's too late. The ladder slides away, and he falls to the ground. What seemed safe just a second ago ends in pain and shock. Inside a warehouse, a forklift driver struggles to stay awake. The work is repetitive, the lights are dim, and fatigue starts taking over. His eyes close for only a moment, but the forklift keeps moving forward. In seconds, it slams into a rack full of heavy boxes, and everything crashes down around him. In another factory, two men work beside a fast-moving machine. One of them loses his footing, slips on the oily floor, and the other instinctively reaches out to help. But the machine keeps running, pulling both dangerously close. The noise, the panic, the speed, all of it happens within seconds. A car mechanic works under the hood of a vehicle. He's focused, checking the engine, when suddenly the bonnet snaps shut. He jumps back, shaken but lucky to escape without serious injury. Next, a man parks his motorcycle outside an office and walks inside. Just moments later, a heavily loaded truck nearby loses balance and overturns exactly where the man was standing. He has no idea how close he came to death. On a busy street, a man walks along the footpath, distracted by his phone. There's an open drain ahead, unmarked, uncovered. He takes one wrong step and disappears into it. Another man gets out of his car without engaging the handbrake. The car slowly rolls forward until it hits a wall. No one is hurt, but it's a costly mistake and a lesson learned the hard way. A heavy crane tries to pull out a smaller crane stuck in a pit. The cables tighten, the engines roar, but the load is too much. Suddenly, the smaller crane tilts, loses balance, and crashes down with a loud thud. The operators rush to safety as the dust rises. The man decides to swing from a rope tied to a branch. The rope looks strong, but it's handmade and old. As soon as he jumps, the rope snaps and he falls straight onto the ground. A moment of fun turns into instant regret. In a tourist area, visitors crowd onto a small lift-like platform meant for just a few people. The metal creaks under the weight, and then it snaps. Everyone falls, landing painfully but luckily surviving. Overcrowding turns a beautiful view into chaos. Inside a production plant, a woman's glove gets caught in a conveyor belt. She reacts quickly, trying to pull it free, but the machine doesn't stop. In a blink, her hand is pulled in, and the situation turns serious before anyone can react. At another site, a man climbs down from a loader carrying heavy material. He loses his balance and falls hard on his back. Meanwhile, across the floor, a gas pump suddenly bursts as pressure builds up beyond its limit. Flames and smoke fill the area. A crane is lifting materials high above when a worker passes directly underneath. A piece slips and drops toward him. He freezes, but miraculously, it misses him by inches. One step closer, and the outcome would have been fatal. On a bridge under construction, engineers use a crane incorrectly, causing a massive section of the structure to collapse. Dust, debris, and panic fill the air. The project halts instantly. In another metal shop, a worker making a circular metal disc accidentally touches the moving blade. It cuts his hand before he can react. Nearby, two young boys are jumping on stacked metal sheets for fun. One sheet bends, breaks, and one of them falls straight through. During routine cleaning, a heavy metal bearing, left unsecured on an upper shelf, suddenly drops and hits a worker below. He never saw it coming. In a foundry, workers melt metal at extreme temperatures. The furnace overloads, the molten metal expands, and in an instant, there's an explosion of sparks and fire. Everyone runs for cover. A worker loading goods onto a cart doesn't notice a woman walking in front of him. The cart rolls forward, striking her, and she falls. It's a small moment of carelessness, but it could have been avoided with attention and coordination. Somewhere else, a huge truck is being lifted onto a bridge by two cranes. The weight is uneven, and suddenly both cranes lose balance. The truck plunges down, crushing everything below. In a workshop, vibrations from running machines shake the floor. A gas cylinder starts rattling, tips over, and explodes with a deafening sound. A young man stands on a moving conveyor belt, thinking it's funny. But the belt catches his clothes, pulls him in, and he barely escapes serious injury. In another accident, a bus mechanic is working under a parked bus near a river. Suddenly, the river's current moves the vehicle slightly, and it starts rolling. The mechanic scrambles to safety just in time. A second mechanic in another shop connects a battery line incorrectly. The wire sparks, the fuel pump ignites, and there's a sudden short circuit. A flash of light followed by smoke. A worker on a hydraulic truck platform loses control when the system jerks. The platform drops suddenly, throwing him to the ground. Finally, a man loading boxes for fun on uneven soil loses his balance, slips backward, and falls hard. It looks minor, but injuries from such falls can last a lifetime.